We're going to be looking at my dogfight in a Saber versus a MiG-15. I'm going to have the labels on just to make it a little bit easier for people to follow along. And there he is right there. Initially, I think this guy's a Saber because I'm pretty close to my home airfield. However, I look at the crosstail and I realize immediately that this is a MiG, so we're going to start maneuvering. I'm caught a little bit by surprise here, so my decision making is not the best, but our goal at this point right now is to just try to get the nose on him, and barring that, we're going to try to make sure that he doesn't get on our 6. I'm quite unfamiliar with the matchup. I do not fly the Saber at all, or very much I should say, and when I do fly the MiG, I don't really dogfight in it because that is not the strength of that platform. So here I am in some untested waters, and my goal is to obviously shoot him down, but also to just try to feel out the matchup a little bit. And I know on paper that the MiG has more thrust, and the Saber has better low-speed handling. So here we actually extended a little bit. We were trying to do a tour circle thing with him, but that didn't really work out. So instead, I almost eat a tree there, by the way. I'm going to extend a little bit, use the terrain to try to mess up his gun solution, and try to mix things up a little bit. And we start working on like a flat scissors, because the roll characteristics of the Saber are better, so it rolls faster, which means it's better at a flat scissors kind of thing. And here the MiG is doing a really fantastic job going vertical with the extra thrust and just better vertical capabilities of that aircraft. So I want to play horizontal, they want to play vertical, and we're just kind of like testing the waters here. At this point, there's no denying it. I am like really defensive. What I'm starting to understand over the course of this engagement is that I don't really have the thrust to raise the nose as much as I'd like. Now, that does need to be counterbalanced with the fact that I am going very slow right now. I am less than 200 indicated off the top of my head, and it's a you're not going to be able to raise the nose regardless of how much thrust you have with these kinds of airplanes. So there he gets some more shots on me. He misses, and I'm just going to try to keep reversing at a low speed, utilizing my roll rate. We're deploying flaps here a good amount. I do have my flaps on my HODAS, which allows me to lower and raise them without taking my hands off the throttle. And I'm just trying to keep my nose on him nice and slow. Again, trying to force this engagement into being one that is outside of the comfort zone of the MiG. So here he should be above and slowly... Nope, he's actually right there. So I feel pretty good about here, but again, like at this point, unable to raise the nose, so we're just kind of gonna follow him from underneath. And actually, it looks like I do opt to drop down in the terrain and use the terrain instead, though he is right behind me, so he should be lining up a shot here. I do have a few moments in order to try to mess up that gun solution, because when you are this low against the terrain, you don't really have the space to set up the gun solution as easily as you would up there, which is why I'm so low. And I also feel pretty confident about my ability to fly through canyons without hitting the ground, which is what I'm trying to do here. He is right on my 6, so we're going to reverse. Again, 90 degrees right, then 90 degrees left, then try to go for like a rolling scissors a little bit. And he actually does land some hits there, unfortunately. He did tap my right wing and right control surfaces a little bit, but the damage is not too bad, so we can keep fighting. And I'm just trying to continue to force these flat scissors, so I'm going to come around, play with the flaps a little bit, and just keep turning in towards him. I'm not the best pilot with the flat scissors. I'm not somebody who dogfights a good amount, but here I'm starting to feel pretty good about it. Okay, so I'm just trying to get on a 6 here, so turn hard, get in, Turn hard, get in. Here, my reversal is a little bit late, in my humble opinion. Another thing to note is that the rudder is a very strong control surface in these like low-speed engagements. Your ailerons might not work super amazingly, however, your rudder is going to be a very good control surface. So you can shove the nose kind of like where you need it with the rudder. Obviously, it's not coordinated, but you know that's beyond the point here. So again, just trying to fort and overshoot a little bit. I think I'm winning the scissors, but I don't have the speed / thrust in order to kind of like capitalize on that. And what we'll find here as I continue, I think my turn to the left, is that the fight kind of like resets a little bit. If anything, he's like in a pretty good spot where he is back there. He should be able to outrate me just because of the extra thrust. So I got to get my nose around and try to neutralize this just a little bit. Though he is not making it easy to do. There you go. Here, just looking for a reversal. This one might be a mistake. I'm not too sure. Actually, no, that looks pretty good. So again, reversal, reversal. The radius of my turn circle is smaller than his, and that's what we're trying to use here. And it doesn't matter, like Saber, F80, whatever it is. If you are at a slower airspeed, then you can turn in a smaller circle. You might not turn as fast, but you know it's the size of the circle that we're talking about. Trying to get some more gunshots in on me. And again, we're just going to keep reversing. Like I said, I was defensive for almost 10 minutes here. This looks really, really good. Really, really good. But unfortunately, I think if he had squeezed the trigger there, I feel like he would have hit me. I'm not too sure. But I was unable to get my nose on him, and it was looking pretty good, though. Alright, actually kind of lose tally on him. And what we're going to do is there he is in the mirror, by the way. There, yep. And we're just going to be in the canyon here. Yep, hugging the terrain so as to mess up his shot. Just get a couple rounds in on me. Oh, yeah, he hits me a second time. And then right there, it's hard to see, but like he actually did collide with the terrain. And at the time, I didn't even know. So I am defensive for the next 5 minutes, trying to make my way back to my home base, assuming that he just went vertical and took a break, and then he's just following me. However, in reality, he actually did just hit the terrain right there. So arguably, that's a maneuver kill. I don't often believe in maneuver kills, but in this case, like, yeah, we did come out on top of this fight, which was an incredibly long, drawn-out engagement that I found incredibly rewarding to fly. So, thanks for watching.